Hi, in today's video, we'll be discussing Apple's strategic expansion into India, which is the second largest smartphone market in the world with nearly 700 million smartphone users. Despite years of trying to tap into this market, Apple has only recently opened its first two retail stores in India, located in Mumbai and New Delhi, on April 18th and 20th, respectively. This is a significant milestone for Apple as it continues to expand its global footprint and strengthen its presence in key emerging markets. So, why did Apple decide to focus on India, and what does this mean for the future? Let's dive in and explore the implications of this strategic move. This is Apple's newest store in Mumbai, which opened on April 18, 2023. It is located at a property owned by Reliance Industries, the conglomerate of the Indian tycoon Mukesh Ambani. The store is spread over 2 floors and features a glass facade, a spiral staircase, and a video wall. It also offers a range of services such as personalization, trade-in, repair, and support. Apple CEO Tim Cook was personally present at the launch, greeting customers and posing for selfies with them. He showed great enthusiasm about the opening of the first Apple store in India. The energy, creativity, and passion in Mumbai is incredible. We are so excited to open Apple BKC, our first store in India. Just a day after the grand opening of Apple's retail store in Mumbai, CEO Tim Cook sat down with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to discuss future investment in India's rapidly expanding economy. This meeting highlights Apple's persistent interest in India as a promising consumer market and potential manufacturing hub. With India projected to surpass China as the world's most populous nation by mid-2023, the potential for growth in this market is simply enormous. After the meeting, Cook expressed on Twitter Apple's unwavering commitment to investing in India across multiple sectors. And that's not all. Modi also shared his thoughts on the meeting via Twitter, emphasizing the exciting technology-driven transformations that lie ahead for India. This meeting is a clear indication of the mutual desire of both India and Apple to strengthen their relationship and develop a long-term partnership. Following the successful launch of its first retail store in Mumbai's Bandra Kurla complex, Apple opened its second flagship store in Saket, New Delhi. The physical store was also inaugurated by the company's CEO, Tim Cook. Long queues of people gathered at the shopping center in the affluent south of New Delhi to witness the opening of Apple's first physical store in the city and to catch a glimpse of its CEO, Tim Cook. Cook's arrival to inaugurate the store amid heavy security measures sparked jubilation among customers and highlighted the importance that Apple places on its landing in India, where until this week it sold its products only through its online store or certified sellers like Amazon. On his Twitter account, Tim Cook conveyed his gratitude for the warm reception he received. Apple has been eyeing an expansion into India since at least 2016, when CEO Tim Cook met with Indian Prime Minister Modi. Cook saw the potential for manufacturing and retailing Apple goods in the country, and now 7 years later, Apple is opening up its first 2 owned and operated retail stores. However, Apple's history in India has not been smooth sailing. Apple has been trying to gain a foothold in the Indian market for years, but has faced significant challenges, such as high import duties, low affordability, stiff competition from cheaper rivals, and regulatory issues. In particular, Apple had to meet certain local sourcing requirements before it could open its own stores in India. This meant that Apple had to manufacture some of its products in India or source them from local vendors. This was not easy for a company that relies heavily on its global supply chain and quality standards. One of the major obstacles has been the Indian government's strict rules on foreign direct investment in the retail sector. India requires foreign retailers to source at least 30% of their components from local suppliers, which has made it difficult for Apple to set up its own stores in the country. However, Apple has been working on its India strategy for several years, and in 2022, the Indian government relaxed some of its FDI rules, allowing Apple to establish its own retail stores in the country. This move is part of Apple's broader strategy to diversify its manufacturing beyond China. In 2020, Apple embarked on a mission to diversify its manufacturing base and reduce its reliance on China. As a result, the tech giant began shifting some of its production to Vietnam, driven by the trade tensions between the US and China, as well as the supply chain disruptions caused by the pandemic. Fast forward to today, and Apple CEO Tim Cook is implementing an innovative new retail strategy in India. This includes the highly anticipated opening of the company's first ever retail stores in Mumbai and Delhi this month. And that's not all. Major Apple suppliers are also following suit and expanding their manufacturing capacity in India as they recognize the country's immense potential as a manufacturing hub. Apple's largest supplier, Foxconn Technology Group, is gearing up for a significant expansion in India. This ambitious move will involve the assembly of millions of iPhones and the establishment of new production sites as the company sets its sights on diversifying its manufacturing capabilities and expanding beyond China. The expansion of Foxconn's operations in India is a crucial step towards achieving Apple's goal of diversifying its manufacturing base and strengthening its supply chain. In addition to its plans for expanding iPhone production in India, Foxconn is set to invest a whopping $700 million in a new production plant that will be dedicated to manufacturing AirPods. This move comes after Foxconn won an order for AirPods in the country and is a clear indication of the company's commitment to strengthening its manufacturing capabilities in India. According to Reuters, Foxconn is currently building a new facility specifically for this purpose. It's worth highlighting that Apple has been progressively increasing its local production and sourcing in India over recent years. Reports suggest that the tech giant now produces approximately $7 billion worth of iPhones in India annually, up from just $1 billion in 2018. This includes popular models like the iPhone SE, iPhone XR, iPhone 11, iPhone 12, and iPhone 13. The inauguration of Apple's retail stores in India is another vital move in the company's diversification strategy. Not only will it enable Apple to sell its products directly to Indian consumers, but it will also give the companies greater control of the manufacturing and distribution of its products in the country. According to estimates, only about 4% of India's nearly 700 million smartphone users own iPhones. This means that there is a lot of room for growth for Apple in this market. It's also important to note that Apple's sales in India have reached an all-time high of nearly $6 billion in the current fiscal year. One of the factors that has boosted Apple's sales in India is the launch of its online store in September 2020. The online store allowed Apple to offer direct sales and services to customers across the country, without relying on third-party distributors or retailers. The online store also offered features such as customization options, trade-in programs, financing schemes, and free delivery. Another factor that has helped Apple gain traction in India is its pricing strategy. Apple has lowered the prices of some of its older models in India to make them more affordable and competitive with other brands. For instance, the iPhone SE 2020 was launched at $570 in India, but it was later discounted to $445 during festive sales last year. The iPhone XR was also discounted to $510 during festive sales last year, down from its launch price of $1,035 in 2018. Apple's expansion into India is expected to have a significant impact on the Indian economy. The tech giant is investing heavily in the country, with plans to open several more retail stores over the next few years. These investments are expected to create thousands of jobs in India, both in Apple's retail operations and in its manufacturing supply chain. Apple's expansion is also likely to have a ripple effect on the broader Indian economy. The company's investment in the country is expected to attract other foreign investors, who will see India as a more attractive destination for investment. This, in turn, is likely to drive economic growth and create new opportunities for Indian businesses. But what does the future hold? To establish itself successfully in India, Apple must adapt to the unique market conditions, preferences, and challenges of the region. This involves considering several factors. First, Apple may need to offer more affordable and diverse products and services that appeal to India's price-sensitive and diverse consumer base. This must be done with competing with cheaper alternatives from local and Chinese brands that have a more extensive distribution network. Second, Apple needs to overcome infrastructure and logistical challenges such as unreliable internet connectivity, power outages, regulatory uncertainties, and custom delays. Additionally, Apple must address social and cultural issues such as data privacy, security, piracy, and counterfeit products. Finally, Apple needs to balance their global standards and values with local norms while adapting to the diversity of India's society, which encompasses various religions, beliefs, and traditions. Apple's expansion into India is a significant step in the company's global growth strategy. India is a massive market with enormous potential, and Apple's investment in the country is likely to pay off in the long run. With the opening of its first retail stores in Mumbai and New Delhi, Apple is taking a major step towards establishing itself as a major player in the Indian market. This move is part of Apple's broader strategy to diversify its manufacturing beyond China and is expected to have a significant impact on the Indian economy. This video has come to an end. We hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave your opinion in the comments section and hit the subscribe button to stay updated with our latest videos. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.